Have you heard of the expression progress, not perfection? Well, today I'm putting that motto into practice. I launched my podcast not knowing a ton about how to make a podcast, and I just learned how to add some music, and it's exciting. I plan on learning a bit more each episode, and I'm glad you're here with me on this journey, and thank you so much for listening. Welcome back to Mindset with Gina. I'm Gina, and today I want to share a deeply personal story with you, one that has completely transformed my life. It's about how ADHD coaching gave me the tools, the confidence, and the clarity to thrive in ways I never thought possible. If you've been struggling to find your rhythm, stick around because this episode might just be the inspiration you need. If you enjoy thought-provoking conversations and insights on growth mindset, personal development, and ADHD coaching, I'd love for you to subscribe to my podcast, Mindset with Gina. Every subscription means the world to me, and it helps me create even more valuable content to inspire and support you on your journey. Let's get started. When I was first diagnosed with ADHD, I felt a mix of relief and overwhelm. Finally, there was an explanation for why I had struggled in certain areas. But simply knowing about my diagnosis wasn't enough. I needed a way to turn that understanding into action. And that's where ADHD coaching came in. I jumped in feet first, knowing that I needed the tools so that I could understand how best to deal with my brain going forward. From my very first session, I realized this was going to be different. Instead of getting stuck in overanalyzing and rehashing my diagnosis, we got straight to work. My coach helped me gain a clear understanding of how my brain functions, what my challenges were, and most importantly, what my strengths were. It wasn't about trying to fix my brain. It was about learning how to use it effectively, just the way it is. In my experience with traditional business coaching, especially in real estate, I often felt like I was being pushed into a rigid box. One size fits all strategies that didn't consider the nuances of how different brains work. Most real estate coaches follow a scripted approach, sticking closely to the protocols handed down by their establishments. For 22 years, I built a real estate business, and I will say for about half of that time, I worked with real estate coaches. And real estate coaches follow a scripted approach, sticking closely to the protocols handed down by their brokerages. And while those scripts and tools can be useful, they're not tailored to individual needs. It's kind of archaic. It wasn't until I embarked on ADHD coaching that I discovered a new level of growth. ADHD coaching helped me understand my unique strengths, worked with my brain instead of against it, and allowed me to build systems that aligned with my natural tendencies. This personalized approach made all the difference in it. And it is why I am passionate about bringing the same individualized support and mindset shift to others through my podcast. One of the most powerful things I learned was how to leverage my strengths. My coach taught me to see that my ADHD was not just a set of challenges, but it was a source of unique abilities. We didn't just talk about what I could do well. We implemented strategies that allowed me to use those strengths to their fullest potential. For example, I discovered that my creativity, energy, and ability to think outside the box were actually huge assets. I was incredibly resourceful because I had to be my whole life to get by. This is why I was able to build businesses without much training. Together, my coach and I built systems that allowed me to channel those qualities in a way that was productive and sustainable. And it wasn't just about creating a plan and checking off my to-do list for the week. It was about the practice. This is habit building and something that is very hard to do alone, especially with an ADHD brain. I was constantly seeking dopamine. And once I got bored or I felt like something was too redundant, then it was hard for me to continue. With my coach, I would work on tasks right there on the spot during our sessions. My coach guided me through completing tasks step by step, ensuring that I understood and applied each strategy effectively. This hands-on approach was crucial. It meant I wasn't just learning in theory. I was implementing in real time, building habits and systems that would stick. And I'll tell you, the follow-up sessions in between were crucial for me because it kept me accountable. And without it, I would have just done what I always did. Wait until the day before I was meeting my coach and get everything done that day in time for my meeting. This isn't habit building, but relying on an old method of pressure to get things done. You know the one, procrastination. See, we didn't just set it and forget it. I had consistent check-ins to make sure I was not only using the strategies, but also refining them. This ensured that I was continuously implementing the tools I learned, adapting as needed, and building confidence in my ability to manage my AD. I think that is one of the biggest misconceptions about ADHD coaching, that it's a slow process where you don't see results right away. But for me, it was the complete opposite. I hit the ground running. In my very first session, I had a clearer understanding of how my brain worked, what my challenges were, and most importantly, solutions that I could start using immediately. I left that session with a sense of empowerment I hadn't felt in years, and I began to accomplish my goals right away. I won't pretend it was easy every step of the way. There were moments of doubt, times when I felt like slipping back into old patterns, times when I did slip back into old patterns. But the difference was now I had a toolkit, strategies that had been practiced, refined, and mastered until they became second nature. I learned how to organize my day, manage distractions, and prioritize tasks, all while embracing my natural strengths. See, here's the kicker. I am mood driven, and so many people with ADHD are. And I had to be honest. So I came up with a variety of plans that I could implement based on the type of day I was having. No one ever taught me this until ADHD coaching. I would just get into a cycle of beating myself up for not getting the tasks done. I would make myself feel bad. And I didn't realize that I was up against something that was taking over my life. ADHD was driving the train and I was a co-pilot. And what I learned through coaching was that I had to be driving the train and that ADHD is my co-pilot. ADHD coaching changed my life because it didn't just teach me to cope. It taught me to thrive. I learned to see my ADHD as a part of who I am, not a problem to be solved. And that shift in mindset, paired with practical tools, has made all the difference. If you're someone who has been struggling with ADHD or feeling like you're not reaching your full potential, or things just feel really hard compared to other people, I encourage you to consider ADHD coaching. It's about more than just managing symptoms. It's about harnessing your strengths, implementing tools that work for you, and building a life that feels aligned, productive, and joyful. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Mindset with Gina. And I hope my story has inspired you to see the possibilities that come with understanding and embracing your unique brain. Remember, it's not about trying to fit into a mold. It's about finding what works for you and building a life around it. Until next time, be gentle with yourself and make sure you are celebrating your wins every day.